Hello, my name is Dante Renee from the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1978's Skin Flicks, directed by Gerard Damiano. And this is 1978, 85 minutes long. This is the reversible cover here. This is a Blu-ray and DVD. Here are some... I'm having a problem with some light right here, but they're darker, maybe darker photos in a way. Let's see if this works. Here's some screenshots from the film, Skin Flicks. And I have looked at other Gerard Damiano films on this YouTube page as well. Memories, Miss Aggie, I believe it's called. Also, believe he did Throat. So Memories Within Miss Aggie, yes. Let's look at Skin Flicks because this is a very, very special adult X-rated film. We have just a few of the people in the film: Beth Anna, Colleen Davis, and Sharon Mitchell. So let's look at this film. Great cover art here, and this is the reversible cover, as I stated. This is actually the slip cover. I'll show you the slip cover too. This is the slip cover. Very cool. Very cool. Embroidered. Stick. Kind of. You can feel it all with your fingers. Just very cool. Put out by Vinegar Syndrome. Skin Flicks is such. If you know Gerard Damiano's films, you know that he has a level of elegance, professionalism, quality, and art that would silence the naysayers on what X-rated cinema is, and would silence the people that think that porno flicks are just spank material with no plot, no story, no artistic merit, and he will silence them. He will silence them with his films. He will silence them with Skin Flicks, because this is a movie that will bring much confusion to the crowd that says that these types of films can be nothing more than just something to masturbate to. This would confuse them heavily and possibly just absolutely bewilder them. Skin Flicks enters into the world of the type of genre Skin Flicks is. It enters into the world of adult cinema, of X-rated cinema, and you meet the people who work behind the scenes. You meet the businessmen. You meet the director, the producer in the business world, the people with the money. You meet the actors and the actresses, and you meet the fans, the audience. And you are wrapped up in this world that involves human relationships, money, emotions, distress, ambition, love, intimacy, sexuality, hunger for sex, and an awareness of your own sexuality and a freedom with your own sexuality. It's all in here. This is a film that flirts with romance. Of course, it's an X-rated film. It also flirts with horror. It also flirts with kind of a documentary type of vibe as well. A behind-the-scenes documentary type vibe. It also is a dramatic film. It's dark, it's light, and most importantly, with the best films, it's art house. And with the best of films, it's a film that is not easily defined, and it's a film that can perplex and disturb and turn on and be amusing and interesting, but very complex. Your own emotions will be complicated. This film is complicated, and all the beauty is in the complications. When we look at the music for Skin Flicks, you know, we have very dramatic music, piano, orchestration. You hear it from the get-go as soon as the movie starts. And then we have, oh my gosh, some of the funkiest, most amazing, grooviest music ever. This one scene with a stripper. And then we have some disco-based music in here as well. That is great. And then we have some very dark music in here as well, that elements of it almost reminded me of the original Black Christmas, but very, very disturbing, cacophonous, dark, atmospheric music in here as well in one section of the film. But we have romantic music, dramatic music. It's all the range of emotions, emotional music, music that you would hear in a drama film, in a way, or an art house film. When we look at the style of this movie, this is a movie that plays with focus. It's a movie that plays with reflections within mirrors and kind of cascading over those reflections and utilizing them. It's a movie that plays with all different angles sexually. In one particular scene, a woman's sitting on a see-through seat and it's rocking back and forth, and the camera stays in one position and her ass just comes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and from underneath. So different angles, different perspectives, sexually and emotionally, different lighting, different sets, because the movie is playing within the confines of a movie. In some regards, this is a movie that can be interpreted in many different ways. It's almost it's open-ended. So you're looking for more complexity? Well, Skin Flicks is also a film that can be interpreted in many different ways as well, especially as we reach the climax of the film. The editing for the film is also done in a very artistic, very non-linear, not playing with logic, but playing with style and something inner, and not your typical linear storyline. And the lighting is incredible. There's this one sex scene where it's just like a spotlight and it's just darkness all around them. Lots of style in this movie, and the cuts sexually will bring you to different positions without seeing the connections between those different positions. This is a movie thematically, Skin Flicks, as it looks at the hindrance of acting in a sex film. You know, what is acting in a sex film? What is the camera in a sex film? If sex is something that you're actually having in the film, and it's something that's also part of your personal life, what is the difference when there is a camera there? What is the difference between a sex film and prostitution? Okay, we look at that as well within Skin Flicks. What are the emotional effects of doing sex films? The highs and the lows. What kind of people do sex films attract? Who are the people within them? How are they made? What should an actress be thinking about when she's doing a sex film? Is there any romance, actual sex beyond the camera with the people in front of the camera or behind the scenes? The positives and negatives of that. And what about the audience? What about the audience? We have the camera, but then we also have the audience. So it's almost like there's two eyes, okay? And what effect does sex films have on the audience? And in some regards, you have the idea of, similarly with horror films, how people have blamed horror films for making murderers, and you can blame sex films. People have blamed sex films for making rapists or making perverts or people that are socially inept or socially destructive. We also look at the idea of so yeah, like responsibility and audience effect, but also the idea that the camera is the ultimate eye. And it's something that I remember hearing Stephen Thrower talk about Jess Franco's films with the zoom lens. Now, this is not a zooming film, but the aspect of seeing it all in a sex film, seeing it all in a porno, seeing it all in an erotic film. The acting in here is unbelievable. This is a film of characters. There's this wild scene change where a woman's vagina blows out a match as a scene change. Not as a story element, not as a linear piece of the story, but the style is the substance. The style is the story. And so that's part of the beauty of Skin Flicks. It's a film of characters and complex characters. The acting, as I already stated, is incredible. Jamie Gillis is in here as well. You're going to recognize a lot of faces if you're familiar with the golden age of porn. So you're going to recognize a lot of faces, but everybody's in their A game. It's incredible. And the sex scenes in here are incredible as well, because the sex scenes are sometimes part of the sex film that the skin flick that is part of the storyline, but also it's something that goes beyond. And what are the connections between sex in front of the camera and beyond the camera for an actor and an actress? But the sex scenes are incredible, lots of different angles. If you love buttholes, if you love vaginas, if you love facials all over the face, all over the body. There's some kinky stuff, involving some kind of satin or, like a dog collar in one particular scene. Some interesting perspectives with the lead director of the film and kind of his sexuality and how he views what he does and how he views relationships and sexual relationships at that. He's a very interesting character in this film. We have violence in this movie as well, with a real weapon. It looks like some dangerous scenes, definite dangerous scenes right there, for the actors, definitely. But some really, really great dirty talk in this film as well, if you like that. And the dialogue is incredible. The way the film starts is very documentary, very art house. The way the opening title credits come on, just very dramatic, very interesting. Conversations seem very real. It's there's something very, very special about this movie, and the way it ends. Oh wow, the way it ends. That's even more interesting in perspective of the whole beginning 85 minutes. This is 1978's Skin Flicks by Gerard Damiano. Wow. If you are somebody that doesn't normally watch X-rated films, but you are open-minded and you don't mind looking at, labia lips and the clitoris and ejaculation and buttholes and all of this sort, this will floor you. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like this film, Skin Flicks. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at vimeo.com/poopy diarrhea, POOPY diarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.